Alrighty, we're live. It says we're live. Let's just make sure my stats show up, and then I know I'm live. Okay, cool. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Stacey Storino. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is the #1 place for the more mature entrepreneur to go when they want to learn about content marketing that drives more traffic to their business so that they can do more business, especially when you're a solopreneur or you have a very tiny team and you're still wearing a lot of hats. Maybe you're more intermediate, you're not quite a beginner, but still you've got a lot of hands and a lot of pots. And one of those pots happens to be content marketing on behalf of your business. You want to stick around with a channel like mine because there's not only a ton of content on here since like 2019 that can help you, a lot of it evergreen, lots of really nice playlists. So make sure you've subscribed if you haven't already, and click the bell notification to select all, because especially every single day in the month of January 2022, I'll be going live most days around 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. On Mondays and Fridays, it'll either be 9 or 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So there will be replays unless I'm cursed with some sort of tech weirdness. But so far, we've had replays everything from January 1st through the 4th. Today's the 5th. So this is day 5 of 31 days of free training for you guys. Okay. And every day kind of builds upon the previous day. And yet the training that I do from day to day can also stand on its own. But it's best enjoyed. It's best enjoyed when you've watched everything else and it's all free. So everything is in one playlist on my channel. The playlist name, let me just go to playlists, because if you want to catch up, you're more than welcome to. The name of the playlist is 2022 Entrepreneur Business Reboot Advice. So this is a lot of fresh stuff and a lot of ways to help you, not just personally. This isn't life coaching time. This is like business coach, marketing coach time. How to help you both personally and professionally to hit the goals that you want to get hit for your business, to benefit your life both personally and professionally in 2022. So most of what we are going to do over the course of this free training series, this 31-day free training series, is meant for you to implement in 2022. Okay, so really quickly, let me greet everyone that's here, and then we will get into today's training. Heidi is here from Stuff and Junk by Heidi. What's going on? We've got Sandy B here. Good to see you. Miss Marquina Rawlings is here. Good to see you. Good to see you. Jacqueline Fatika Schuster is here. Hey, hey, girl. The Wicked Griffin's in the house, everybody. Show some respect. All right, it's good to see you. Let me greet Jacqueline here. Jacqueline Fatika. Heather Dupay is here. What's going on, Miss Heather? Good to see you. Poppy Blue is here, or 01 Poppy Blue. Let me be very honest and accurate. And Stitchworks. Hey, what's going on, Jennifer? Jennifer Chamberlain Majors is here. Stitchworks staff account is here. Good morning, all. I will be in and out, but we'll catch up on any on the replay. Okay, so good to see you guys, and I'll try to grab anybody else who's here. Before I forget, please make sure you hit that thumbs up button. You may think it doesn't help, but it really does. It pushes this live stream out. It increases the odds that this live stream will be pushed out to more people while I'm live. And yes, on the replay, the more thumbs up, the more comments, the more engagements, all of those things, it will help this replay, the replay version of this, get out to more of my subscribers. And I'm heading towards 1,600 subscribers. Woo woo! If you or someone you know are trying to build a YouTube channel, especially on behalf of your business, YouTube, of course, is one of the most mature platforms out there to publish content on. And so it can take you a while to build traction. Most people give up. Most folks won't even get to 100 subscribers on YouTube. And then there's, of course, a much smaller amount that will hit 1,000 subs. So I hit 1,000 subs in the first 10 months of really working this particular channel on YouTube. So it can be done, and it doesn't have to take forever. The average person that will hit 2,500 subs on YouTube, it can take them between 2 to 3 years. Some say as long as 5 years to do it. But when you know what you're doing, You can optimize and you can grow. So don't think it has to take you so long. Don't think you could never do well on YouTube. While I am not a YouTuber whose YouTube channel is about per se how to like be a better YouTuber, it's content creation. So we talk about a whole variety of things on this channel in terms of content creation, planning it, creating it, optimizing it, making sure that it's published persistently and consistently so that you hit the right frequency so that your content does well on platforms. And then occasionally we talk about how to multiply one piece of content you can get so much more bang for your content based buck. Okay, so let me just see. I see that we have a couple other comments. Poppy Blue, I should be asleep. It's 2 a.m. in Australia. Oh, girl, I am so sorry about the time difference. Jacqueline says, I'm definitely thinking of doing YouTube, but it's a shiny red ball right now. Okay, so here's the thing. Once you're an intermediate business, and Jacqueline, you're advanced, quite frankly, the way I rate these things. Once you're an intermediate business, if you don't already have a YouTube channel, I do think that that's something that you should do. We're going to get into the training proper in just a second, guys. So hang out. So, but I think by the time you're intermediate, you really do need to have a YouTube channel on behalf of your business. If you look at, for an example, Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill, we're not trying to be YouTubers. We have a YouTube channel. We're on the march to 900 subs over there. Many of our videos on that channel are evergreen. So we can use that content again and again and again. So I have no problem, taking a particular video from there and emailing my list about it and driving traffic there. And almost always, wham, you see a big spike in selling that particular product. If the video does its job, and if your email entices people to give you that click in the email. So like a quick 60-second or 1 or 2 line pitch about why they should click on, probably the thumbnail for the YouTube video will be your graphic in the email out to your list. Now, I know you have a sizable list, Jacqueline. Again, you are an advanced student of mine. You're not beginner, you're not intermediate, and you were rather advanced coming to me to give you credit. But I know you took a lot of my trainings and really rolled with it too, and I respect you for that. But I would say you are overdue to, and you might already have the channel established on YouTube, you're overdue to do like a video once a week to that YouTube channel. That's the minimum frequency that I would do. Are you interested in ranking your videos so you grow this huge YouTube channel? If your business isn't to be an influencer or a YouTuber per se, my answer is no. Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill is a 7-figure business. This year we're over 2021 we were over 1.3 million, which was exciting. If you look at the YouTube channel size, if you just went on that as your metric, you'd be like, what? I mean, granted, we're like 825,000 on TikTok alone, but I'm not using the YouTube channel per se to be a YouTuber or get AdSense revenue for Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill. It's more like the ideal was to put a video up about once a week to showcase a particular like higher priced item. Usually, occasionally we'd go back to basics and stuff like that, or seasonal collections that we know, or holiday-based collections that we know. We're always going to be making, say, the ugly sweater Christmas cake. Like that is a huge, huge seller. It's not going to be here and gone tomorrow. So when we're getting past Thanksgiving, I can definitely start driving email traffic and social media traffic back to our Christmas collection like standards, and those start popping and selling. So when I talk to whether you're products-based businesses, your coaches, your course creators, or anything in between, I do like the idea, once you're at least intermediate, to create a YouTube channel and just like once a week, at the very least, that is the minimum frequency to do even halfway decent on YouTube itself. So why not try to at least do that? But you're really using this as content to drive traffic to your business to do more business, right? Like, I'm not saying I never have an influencer come to me and say that they want coaching, or an aspiring influencer do that. And so I'll say pretty much everything I say to you, but then we'll tweak the conversation to their business model. But yeah, I would think, I know it sounds like a bright rubber shiny distraction ball, and it can be, but like, you're overdue to have a YouTube channel, Jacqueline, and anybody who hits my criteria for an advanced business. Because by intermediate, you should be establishing that YouTube channel. As a beginner, I would at least like go on YouTube, look up how to start a YouTube channel 2022. I'm sure there's already videos for it, so that it shows you click by click how to do it. And at least just grab the channel name of your business so that nobody else can take that from you. That's like protecting your brand integrity. So whenever you hear that there's another like social media platform that's going to come out, at least grab your handles, your account, establish a page, a group, whatever platform parlance is applicable. So this way, like, you've got squatters' rights on the name of your business. No one else can take it from you, whether they mean to do it for mean reasons or they just so happen to have your business name or something like it. That's always protecting your brand integrity. So everyone, even as a beginner, should do that. Of course, if you're watching me, you have a YouTube channel already. Technically, you have a YouTube account already, but it might be under your personal name, right? So for some of you, I know that's the case. So if your brand isn't eponymous or self-named, whatever the name of your business is, one thing to do, maybe now through the weekend, is to go grab the YouTube channel name or account name for your business. And then, like, if you're a beginner and you're still working out the kinks for your business, I wouldn't say, oh, then start putting up a video once a week for YouTube. It's a bigger learning curve for YouTube. There's a whole lot of moving pieces behind it. I would rather beginners like get used to covering, first of all, getting proof of concept on their business. Other than family and friends, are you getting anybody to buy from you? Because if the answer is no, you don't have sufficient proof of concept. And this is something we can cover on another day, because I want to get to the teachings. I don't want to seem like I'm clickbait, because we are going to talk about how to actually keep your goals that you set. A couple of days ago, 2 days back to back, we dealt with goal setting in a non-airy-fairy kind of way, right? And we looked at it. Yeah, you could use these for personal reasons, but I'm not a personal life coach. I'm a business coach. I'm a marketing coach. So we shot things through the lens of entrepreneurial goals. From financial goals, which some of you told me, I never even got even that specific. You need to name a financial goal, for example, for 2022. Like, by the time you get to December 31st, December 31st, 2022, how much, when you look back over the year, do you want to see that you made as a sheer minimum? Like, I know I should make this much, even if I don't set the world on fire. Then what's like a mid-range goal? If I'm really popping, if I take what Stacey teaches me here on YouTube, if I get any of her paid offerings, or both, like, and I really apply that to up level what I've already got going on, what's a reasonable mid-range financial goal for myself? And then maybe I'll pick a hairy, scary goal that isn't impossible, but it makes me feel uncomfortable about reaching. Because you know what? It's good to have beginner, intermediate, and advanced goals for every goal, not just your financial goals and not just for personal goals or professional goals. You can have parallel tracks for both, right? So if you missed any of the previous like 4 days leading up to today while we're live, you would go on the 2022 Entrepreneur Business Reboot Advice playlist and just devour those playlists, because I want to talk about, like, I'm sure a lot of people, whether they were watching me before now or not, set New Year's goals. We all have New Year's syndrome. We all want the best for ourselves personally and professionally, and that's great. But how many people by now, you do not have to out yourselves publicly, but just like say to yourself, like, how many people already set however many goals personally and or professionally, and it's January 5th while I'm shooting this live, and you're already off track on one or more of those goals. You don't have to say it publicly, but you kind of like raise your hand to yourself and say I. And this isn't to shame yourself. I don't want there to be any guilt or shame. You're not gonna, that's not gonna do anything useful for you. Marquina says, I think a lot of newbies on YouTube run out of content fast. Jacqueline says, right. Marquina says, I have to remember to subscribe to Joe's on YouTube. I didn't finish watching the fantastic food videos before I switched phones and lost my subscriptions. Carol O'Neill is here. Hey, Carol, good to see you. Danielle is here. Hi, Daniela. What's going on? Hope you catch up on the other videos. Hi, Bridget and Darren. We have Bridget under the Bridget Upcycle Lawson account. Miss Marissa. Marissa Parsons is here. Now again, you guys are happy. I'm happy to see brave people share. Marilyn Roselle is here. What's going on? You just greet you. What's going on? Okay, so here's the thing. Like, let me address. I'll toggle. So with YouTube, you know, if you're a products-based business, or if you're like Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill and you're an edible products-based business, or you're like Mike Reinhard. Did I not say hi to Mike? Let me just say it again anyway. So if you're like Mike has a farm and he has some sort of farm stand or something through which he will sell his wares. So he's got edible products. Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill has edible products that we put out in edible product line collections for holidays, for tentpole events, for seasons and stuff like that. For products-based businesses, otherwise handmade or not, you think about things in terms of not just individual tangible products if you're smart, but in terms of collections. And you might have like a signature or evergreen product line collection. You don't, you should. That is something that you should be selling day in, day out. That might be one of the main reasons why someone would come, you know, to a business like yours. So for Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill, for example, you know, sure, they sell hamburgers, hot dogs, ice cream, and milkshakes. And so they do those basics very well. If you look on our YouTube channel, we've got videos about why our burgers are different than other people's, why our fries are different than other people's, and tips, tricks, and techniques to see whether or not even something as simple as your fryer oil was no good, that your fries were cooked in. You know, and videos like that pop off very well. Even how you create your, say, 10-piece evergreen product line collection, right then and there, that gives you 10 videos. And if you're just starting to build up a YouTube channel and getting used to putting that in the mix, intermediate students, advanced students, you know, and please, please, please make sure you, as quickly as possible, delegate the video editing to someone else. Even if you have to hire an independent contractor, I'm not saying it has to be an employee, part-time, full-time with benefits and all sorts of crazy. I totally recommend, and it's not like an affiliate link or anything, but it's online jobs, all one word, .ph. So you can go to that website and hire somebody from the Philippines to edit a YouTube video a day for you 5 days a week. And it might cost you like $500, right? So that's why I'm saying intermediate and advanced for sure. If you're a beginner and like YouTube sounds attractive to you, I don't want to stop your fun. You can edit videos. I used to do that myself until my business was able to afford hiring Barney, who now works for me full time, but that's a whole nother story. So like with Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill, our edible product line collection is at least 10 items from our menu. That's at least 10 videos. And then every like holiday or seasonal collection that we would put out, you know, they would be 10 more videos for 10 more edible products, plus or minus. Plus, you can also do videos that just show what it's like to run a business like yours. Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill last year did a couple of videos, one a week for several weeks, where we showed people behind the scenes what it was like to run Joe's, what it looks like behind the scenes. Our customers loved it. They actually asked us for more, but a couple of the adults were like, oh, I don't feel comfortable feeling, you know, appearing on camera, which you already put out is fine, but I don't want more. So we're like, dang it, because our customers really, really like that. But if you're doing stuff yourself, or it's you and one other person and they don't mind being on camera, or at least their hands can be on camera helping you, people love to see behind the scenes, how it's made. Mike Reinhard could make videos all day long in his blacksmithy, showing people how he creates custom products, how he does repairs, why his smithy is superior to others. It's cleaner, it's more to code. People care about those things. Videos like that put deposits in the bank of know, like, and trust. You could have, if you're Mike Reinhard with his farm, he could have videos showing people what it's like to run a farm. and he could just do a video, 10, 15 minutes, edited once a week. Boom. People love that stuff. There's a lot of people homesteading. There's a lot of people working and running things from home more now than ever before. They might want their own garden, their own farm. They might want to actually qualify for homesteading. Somebody like Mike could be putting out a smithy video one week, a farm video another week, and show like, this is how I could be self-contained if I wanted to personally, and then professionally, this is how I serve people. So it's not just all product based. If you think if you're a product based business, if you're a coach like me, you're going to have an education how-to channel, and you can teach people like the tip of the iceberg type things, but of course your secret sauce, your proprietary like formula, framework, swipe files, and all those, you lock behind a paywall. Oh, by the way, this reminds me, in the description of this video and all the videos in the past, and at least several of the videos moving forward, in the description or show notes for this video, if you go down a couple of lines, there is the link to let's go in here, to a mini course that I have for January with marketing and sales plans that can help you out in the month of January. It's evergreen to January. So January to January, it can be a lot of good assistance to you. If you're like, well, no matter what business I have, if you're a coach or a course creator, January is like your Christmas, and February you'll be pretty busy and things start to taper off in March, right? It's kind of like everybody has their busy seasons and their slow seasons. But for product-based businesses, especially handmade product-based businesses, what really grinds my gears is that a lot of people think, well, the holidays were done. Here, I put the link down below, and I pinned it while I'm live. Oh, there you go. Mike says, that's what I'm trying to do on TikTok. How is TikTok working out for you, if you care to share? Kendra Nicolay is here. What's going on, Kendra? Thanks for stopping by. We love it. Amy Lynn Blade. Oh, and by the way, make sure that you give me, and Ann McDonald is here too. Let me recognize her. What's going on? Okay, so I pinned the champagne batch of frosting, which is what I call my 8-lesson mini course. It's a small course for a bite-sized price, and it will help you January to January to do way more than just like hold a clearance sale. If you're not a coach or a course creator and this is your busy season, because I'm preaching to the converted. You guys know you can make money month in, month out. This is just your busy season. Q1 is busy season for most coaches and course creators. For products-based businesses, especially handmade products-based businesses, but other business models under the products-based umbrella, you're convinced that Q4 is like your busy season. And maybe it is, but it's not the only season where you can really make money, and then a couple of holidays and then you're done. I've gotten more people with products-based businesses, handmade or not, to 6 figures or close or over. And I've even had several people with 6-figure businesses come to me and say, how are you going to help me do any better? And who's gone up 15%, 25% or more last year? When you're already a 6-figure business, that's a lot more, right? So what I teach works. I'm going into my 9th year of doing this, right? I'm not a life coach. I'm a business coach. So do me a favor. Number 1, give this video a big thumbs up if you haven't already. Number 2, if you haven't done it already, #live, #replay down below. Okay, that helps me out in 2 different ways. 1, it's more engagement, but number 2, I can kind of see who's tuning in during the live and on the replay. And again, reminder for people who are showing up on the replay or the replay only, don't worry, you can ask your questions or put your comments or observations down in the comment section of the video, like the replay video of this. I'll circle back and I'll get to you guys. I think I've caught up with everybody from the other day. Excuse me. Bridget says, we make money in January, just not the same kind of money that we do for the holidays. I swear it's because everyone got a Cricut for Christmas and wants to start their own jewelry business. Okay, Bridget. So if you really think that that's something that everyone does, or at least a healthy dose of people do, maybe that's true, maybe that isn't. Could you create a course or some sort of offering that, you might on an evergreen basis make available for sale? But, you might start talking about it more in January start to peter it out a little bit in February and then start tapering down in March, and maybe just once a month make quick reference to it. Could you create digital downloads for patterns for crickets? Could you create a course showing people, like, how to use a cricket? Could you create a course that shows people like how to start a cricket based business? There's no reason why you can't do that. So, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. It's not wrong for somebody to have a business with an overall theme to it. And maybe you're kind of shifting gears from quarter to quarter. And for sure, if you're a products based business of any kind, a clearance sale might be in order for one of your two minimum income based or sales based goals for the month. You're never going to make six figures or above if you do just that. But for beginners who are just getting their feet wet, they're trying to find proof of concept for their business, they're trying to get sales, they're trying to work out whatever kinks are in their business pipeline along the way so that they could get profitable more and more often. I don't want to overwhelm you with 3 or more sales. But once you're at a point where your social's growing, even if it's slowly but steadily, and your email list is growing slowly but steadily, and for the two minimum sales promotions that you do a month, it's not if you're going to make money, it's just a matter of how successful they are. Then, without getting too much more into my secret sauce, because my Funnel Dynasty students know we have specific business blueprints for every level that you're at, you would be kind of good to think of yourself as an intermediate student of mine, or an intermediate like business owner and marketer on behalf of your business. Then you should be pushing 3 sales or 3 income based promotions a month. My advanced students know they do 4 income based or sales promotions a month, and that means every week they're selling, which quite frankly is what you should be doing ultimately. But I do want to get into the goal-based training. Hold on. We're planning on selling kits. That's smart. Lenore Love is here. Hey, Miss Lenore. Sorry if I didn't see you sooner. I'm confused. What's the difference between the January popularity plan and the champagne frosting for January? Good question. So the popularity plan is something that it's not a course. Okay, so like really quickly, popularity plan is not a course. It's a packet of digital downloads. The Champagne Batch of Frosting is a January focused 8-lesson mini course with a corresponding Facebook group that gives you like marketing and sales based plans that tend to work really best in January. So that over and above a clearance sale, there's like different ways for you to grow and maintain your through relationship marketing, your pre-existing like brand-based community and your email VIPs to keep them happy, and then like how you can actually sell stuff even if you quote unquote only have your evergreen or signature product line collection, how you can still get a healthy amount of sales by hooking them into like in one of the 8 lessons in the Champagne Batch of Frosting. It teaches you how to hook your products and or services, your offerings, into one of the many different New Year's resolutions that people have, like strategic ways to connect your offerings with what people want to achieve in January and for the rest of the year. The digital download pack only that the popularity plan is, it's separate from Frostin' altogether. It's something that I started last year because so many of my students were like, we're solopreneurs, or we have very small teams. We know we need to cover, 2, if not 3 social media platforms on a daily basis. We're having a hard time coming up with all the content that we need. Like sales-based stuff we can do. We've got that covered. But relationship marketing-based stuff is hard. I'm wearing all the hats as a solopreneur. Or, I have like an assistant, but they can't help me with my content marketing. What's a student like me to do? Could you come up with something that's kind of done, for you in a way, and give me a packet every single month? And that's what we call the popularity plan. It's not a subscription service. You decide if you want to take the pack from month to month. So for $37, you get 15 graphics that are meant for that month, in this case, the month of January, 15 corresponding templated captions, fill in the blanks, tweak the language, and you've got 15 relationship marketing based social media posts that also educate anybody who comes across that content that you're a business owner and your business does X for Y type of person so that they can get Z type of result. That's in every single caption. So if each piece of content that we give you, those 15 corresponding graphics, those 15 corresponding captions, if that's the first time somebody comes across you, they're going to be like, oh, wait, they're a business owner and they're either great for me or great for someone I know. This gets people sales. It doesn't just keep their pre-existing brand-based community happy. Also, for that same $37, you get 4 templated emails, one assigned to every single week that particular month, so that at the very least, you are emailing your list once a week at a minimum. We did a lot of discussion yesterday, so circle back if you didn't see that video or you didn't finish it. We got into a big discussion about why email marketing is really likely to give you 3/4 of your income. So if you don't have an email list, you need to get one. That's a goal for you to set, right? And you need to email your list at least once a week. And you're free to Google the statistics that show you that actually the more you email a list in general, the better your sales are. You stay top of mind. People miss emails. They keep meaning to open up the email from 2 days ago. At least you sent an email today. You're going to make 75% approximately of your money from your email list and 25% from your website or wherever else you have a business presence, or both, because some of you have both. You're using, for example, Etsy as a traffic source, but you're trying to get most of your sales through your own website. It's cheaper, it's more efficient. You also can email your customers once they're on your list. That's how you get repeat customers faster and more efficiently. And, so the first sale is the hardest to get. The second's a little easier. By the time somebody's bought from you 3 times or more, they're more likely to buy from you all the time or a lot. They're more likely to be a zealous brand advocate and refer out your brand to other people. So if you missed yesterday's, live stream, you want to catch that in the playlist. Again, and the playlist name is I don't want to say the wrong one. 2022 Entrepreneur Business Reboot Advice. I have a bunch of playlists on my channel. So the difference again is the Champagne Batch of Frosting is a January focused 8-lesson mini course that teaches you how to market and sell well in January. The popularity plan, the various packs, we have the January pack that has 15 graphics, 15 corresponding captions pre-written for you, and 4 emails in a packet. In that same digital download packet. It's a final sale because you can't return that to me. The Champagne Batch of Frosting course, that's 30-day money back guarantee. So let me get there. Can you please put a link to the popularity plan? Jacqueline said, I was shocked at how much money I made just from email in 2021. Do I lie? No, I do not. Right? Music Chick Art, Laura's here. Music Chick Art, what's going on? Yup, I'm glad to see that. I really am. Stuff and Junk by Heidi said, I used January popularity plan for my first email of the new year. I have a small under 100 sub list, but you will grow it bigger over time, my friend. And 33.78% open the email, 4% click through to the website. I'm happy with those stats. For e-commerce, no matter what your business model, so that's, if not everybody here, it's almost everybody here. I'm going to tell you right now, that is awesome. 2% open rates, 2% click-through rates is actually like baseline normal average. So if you're like, why aren't like 50, 70, percent or more people opening my email? Most won't. Most won't. At least most won't. Most won't all the time. That does not mean that they don't care. If they really didn't care, they would get off your email list is what they would do. Anybody who gets off your email list, I don't want anybody to feel bad about, because they weren't going to buy from you anyway. Just Me Lori, what's going on? Just Me Lori J is here. What's up? Okay. So let me see. So popularity plan. I'll put the January popularity plan here. There's still plenty of content that you can use now for the January popularity plan. There was 2-3 pieces that you could have used on January 2nd or 3rd, but like the rest of the 15 social media graphics and corresponding captions and stuff, those, you got a ton of content that you can use now. And a lot of my students are like, we're just going to reuse these things come January next year. So yeah, my students asked me for that. It's the best when you have your finger on the pulse of your brand-based community out on social and YouTube and elsewhere, as well as your email list, because when you poll them, they will tell you what it is that you need to hear. Sometimes it's not what you want to hear. And sometimes it's like, Stacey, take my money. I need help. Give me something that's reasonably priced that a solopreneur, beginner, or an intermediate student with a small team could use. And some of my advanced students still get the packs, and they just hand things off to their team to plug and play and get published or to put into, scheduling, content scheduling systems and stuff like that. But a lot of beginners and intermediates are like, there is no way. So Sandy B, I put that link down below as well. For $37, you are not going to find a packet of digital downloads with that much content in it that is basically all but completed for you. You're not going to find anything cheaper. So I tried to make that very, very reasonable for people. You're just joining me now. Please make sure that you give this video a big thumbs up. It helps to push this video out more to my subscribers when I'm live and more to people on the replay. I have students all over the world, so it's all different time zones. So I know a lot of people are watching on the replay. Okay, look at this. The speckled balloon is here. Hi, Susie B. She says, since I bought my laser cutter, I started doing monthly DIY kits. Each month they are gaining popularity. My goal is that by this time next year to launch a kit subscription to have steady income. Yes. Michelle McLaughlin, she says done. Thank you, Michelle. All right, so let me get into the teaching proper today. So I don't want to be all fake news and stuff and say we're going to talk about goals. You're just joining us now. We did touch upon some things when it came to goals. And there were another 2 days so far. We have a free video training on this channel with replays every single day in the month of January 2022. Then I go to once a week, Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time throughout the rest of the year on my channel. So this is the month you really want to get, make the most of January on behalf of your business. You best be, paying attention now and watch the replays if you missed any, because everything kind of builds a little bit on what I taught the days before. But these things can stand alone too if they need to. Make sure you subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Good midnight. Hello. Make sure you subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Click the bell notification. Make sure that when it opens up, all is selected or toggle to all. So this way you'll get the notifications when I go live, especially since I'm going live every single day. Heather Dupay says, may I ask what laser cutter you went with? All right, getting one for 2022 is on our plan sheet. I love hearing all these goals and plans. This is awesome. All right, so let me bring my stuff over. Okay, so we're talking about, so for you, if you set goals and at least, say January 1st, you set goals, you had New Year's syndrome, you set goals and you kind of fell off the wagon with one or more goals personally and or professionally. Today's training is to help you kind of remix the song of what's going on, because I'm sure the song that you're playing in your head is, I knew it. I knew I wasn't going to be able to stick with this. And we're not even, we haven't even completed the first week of January. I'm never going to do this. My life's so hard. I have so many challenges and stuff like that. And I hear you. We all talk trash to ourselves. We're harder on ourselves than we are on anybody else on planet Earth. And that's something that's very common. You're not alone. So, we talked about what type of goals businesses really have to set so that 2022 is successful. You got to go back like 2 days to get to that one. And then a day ago, we talked about self-sabotage in general as entrepreneurs and how it related to goals. So if you go back in the playlist, we also talk about SMAART goals. So if you're not used to that acronym, you want to go and check that video out in the replay system on the playlist. But it's not just the usual SMART goals acronym. I threw in an extra A and I explained to you why. And I explained to you how to run all your goals through that particular SMART goal filter. So you're not just setting goals, you have more concrete plans. You know the who, what, where, when, why, and how that's necessary behind achieving that particular goal, personal or professional goals, really. But what I want you guys to do now, so that you are less likely to fall behind on any goals that you set as a professional or otherwise, this is what I want you to do. I want you to have a daily goal setting ritual in place. It doesn't have to take more than, say, about 10 minutes, plus or minus a minute or two. This is not a lengthy thing. But having a daily goal setting ritual makes hardcore commitment towards the goals that you set. Because if you followed me on the previous days, then you know how to set goals so that they're plans and they're not just wishes or not just feel good stuff. Yeah, I set my goal and now I walk away. Consciously and or subconsciously, I start sabotaging. So, it just costs you mere minutes. And you might be saying to yourself, I have enough to do every day, Stacey. I'm not just, with my busy personal life. Now I'm running a business on top of it. And if I'm a beginner / solopreneur, I'm wearing all the hats. This is crazy. Preach. But if you don't have a daily ritual to elevate keeping up with your goals to like more top of mind consciousness, you're more likely to fall out of the habit of persistently and consistently working on those goals, which means that you are not likely to achieve any of them, let alone many of them. So it's like exercising. You can't just set goals, even if you followed the system I taught a couple days ago, and you actually have more concrete plans and you have like mile markers on the journey to achieving, especially your bigger goals. All this stuff we discussed previously. So check out that playlist, the 2022 playlist that's already on my channel. But the thing is, it's like exercising. You can't just exercise once, do it really, really hard and be really, really intentional about it, and then walk away and go, well, thank God that's done. Or, I guess I'll do it next week too. And then that doesn't happen because life happens, and it's like how people are with exercising. Excuse me, many of us, I'm not saying all of us, I'm not pointing fingers at everybody, but a lot of people start with the New Year's syndrome. I'm going to start exercising, and maybe they start working out in January every day or close to it. But let's face it, by March, almost everyone's commitment has waned or it's completely vanished and they're done before March is even out. Why? In all likelihood, why the most common factor as to why most people fall off the wagon with workouts or any other goal-based stuff is because it wasn't a daily commitment to you. That's why. So the good news is this is a 10-minute ritual, ish. It could be shorter, it could be a little longer, but 10 minutes, you got 10 minutes for your goals. You want to save up enough money post-tax that you can buy a house? You best be on top of your daily goals, okay? And doing the work behind that's necessary so that you can work through the plan you have set up for that goal every day, every week, every month, every season / business quarter. You don't do that. I don't know how you get to the end of 2022 unless lightning strikes, you hit the lotto. How are you going to make 2022 different if you don't have a different approach to not just setting the goals and setting up the plans for the goals, but following through on the goals? And a 10-minute daily goal setting or goal keeping ritual is not that complicated. And obviously it's 10 minutes. It's not that long. So during this 10-minute a day goal setting ritual, you review your written down or typed up goal related materials that we were talking about over the last couple of days. Okay. And you keep it in front of you. You reconsider it. Does your plan or does the goal itself, short term to long term, contained within 2022, does anything need to be tweaked? Does anything need to be altered? Are there goals that you can cross off the list already because they were super short term? I say short term short term goals or anything that's 90 days or less to achieve. So some are super short term goals. I can do that this hour. I can do that before the day's over. I can do that by the time the weekend's over and the kids start school on Monday, right? You can have super short-term goals. You can have short-term goals that are a little bit more lengthy. Anything that takes more than a business quarter or 90 days to complete, that is a long-term goal, okay? But you need to be sitting down and getting very tangible with the goals that you have set And you need to ensure that there's still perfect harmony between your goals themselves, your why that you set up both personally and professionally. See day one of this playlist, right? You want to examine the progress that you've made on your baby step goals, your short term goals, and even what progress, if any, have you made towards more long term goals. And if you've been successful, you've knocked goals off your list, or man, you are really cooking with gas on at least one of those goals. You might even be surprised about it. Whether you're surprised or not, I want you to take some time during this 10-minute goal keeping ritual to celebrate it. You should. We're all good at pointing out what we don't do right or what we haven't gotten done or what we've already failed at. We catch ourselves doing something bad. During this 10-minute goal keeping ritual, I want you to catch yourself doing something good, okay? If you have stuff to celebrate, please do so. You've got things to cross off, please do so. There's something very cathartic about crossing something off a written list or deleting it or putting a strike through it if you have it digitally. Now, if you haven't achieved a goal that honestly by now it's so baby step and small, but you haven't achieved it yet, instead of beating yourself up, what I'd like you to do is to channel that energy into figuring out why you haven't achieved it. Now, yesterday's video, we were talking about how to stop self-sabotage and why we do it in the first place, especially as entrepreneurs. We're more mature people if we're entrepreneurs. We're not kids, teens, or tweens. We're likely not super young 20s. You would think we would know better about, and we'd be able to catch ourselves faster when we self-sabotage. We do a lot of discussion about what you can do to get out of self-sabotage professionally, and yes, you can use this personally too. And why it is that you go, oh, all I want is a successful business, and I don't know why I constantly get in my own way. We may have uncovered something that you need to take a look at. So if you missed January 4th's video, you need to check that out. That's the 4th video in the playlist, right? So I want you to spend some time, noticing and acknowledging what goals you haven't achieved yet that maybe you should have by now, or you should be close to closing in the gap and completing it, and acknowledging any unforeseen challenges that might have popped up. Give yourself some credit. As the year goes on, these 10-minute goal keeping rituals, things are going to pop up more and more, and you may have had to regroup, or maybe, just maybe, you're in self-sabotage mode and you're falling out of integrity with yourself. I have done this in the past, folks. I'm not just saying it to make you feel better. We all take a turn with this. If you haven't yet, you might someday. You might fall out of integrity with yourself, whether it's laziness or we allow ourselves to be overwhelmed. We're not delegating things personally or professionally enough. We're at a point in our business, especially if we're intermediate to advanced in terms of our businesses and our income and our success. And you know what? We're just not taking out a minimum of 25% out of our net income for our business, our post-tax income, to reinvest back into our business. And that may be anything from any offerings that I or anybody else has that can help you, or it could be you getting an independent contractor to help you edit YouTube videos, or it could be getting a part-time to a full-time employee because you just can't do it anymore. And you're getting older and you're getting tired, and or you know that you're going to burn out, and or it's going to be very difficult to scale and grow past where you are. If you're intermediate to advanced and you've hit a plateau, I can almost guarantee you need to set a goal, or if you've set one, kept it, of finding an independent contractor or an employee of some sort to delegate out work to. And maybe you're falling out of integrity with yourself there, for example, because you're scared of spending the money, or you're scared that if you hit like a season that is not as lucrative as you like, that you might have to lay somebody off. That's what you're worried about. You're Your brain is sending you all these warning messages to protect you from having to do it in the first place. But if you're following anything that I teach on this channel, let alone anything from any of my paid offerings, I got to tell you, I can lead that horse to water. But if you, as the horse, are drinking and you are nobody's perfect, but you are persistently and consistently employing what I teach, and you are following through on it, and you're spending 10 minutes a day with a goal keeping routine, I'm telling you, it's very hard for you to get to a point where your business magically just doesn't make money anymore. So maybe you're falling out of integrity with yourself in this example because you don't want to spend the money, or you don't want to have to lay someone off, or you don't want to have to fire somebody if you train them and they don't work out, or you don't want to have to let someone go because I don't know why. You're scared. Usually, when we don't follow through on things, we might blame laziness and go, I'm just so lazy. It's just me. No, it's not. You're scared. And it's always going to be uncomfortable to get out of your comfort zone for anything personally and professionally that you're going to do. I know it sounds very trite to say get comfortable with being uncomfortable, but if you notice that you're self-sabotaging, go back to yesterday's training, and I've got some good advice for you. And we've had some aha moments that were shared yesterday, and maybe you can see yourself in that. So if you've noticed that you've fallen out of integrity with any of the goals that you've set up, baby steps, short-term, long-term goals, during this 10-minute goal keeping ritual, you know what? You don't beat yourself up, because that ain't going to help. Give yourself credit if unforeseen challenges popped up. See how you have to regroup, see what you have to tweak. Maybe you need to take a short-term goal and go, this is more of a long-term goal. It always was, or where I am now, it is going to have to become one. And if you've fallen out of integrity with yourself flat out, you need to acknowledge that. And you need to ask yourself why you're doing that. And if you have a hard time thinking about it, praying about it, meditating on it, journaling about it. Some people, once they put pen to paper, they start typing up, they can project onto a screen what they have a hard time just thinking about, because their thoughts are very airy-fairy, right? If you're having a hard time with this and you still can't pull out the answers, your business isn't going to go any further forward, or not much. You need to get help. I've had to do it too. Whether it's a licensed talk therapist, it's a psychiatrist, whatever it is, go to a free group in your area where there's free, group coaching. I don't care what it is that you do. If you have a block and you know that you keep ramming your head against a wall, you need to get that block out of the way. Now, with many, many people, it's just noticing that you have fallen out of integrity with yourself and getting real for real and saying, you know what, when I go to my next goal keeping session tomorrow for about 10 minutes, next time I want to look and say, I have made baby steps progress towards a short-term goal. Or you know what, I knocked out 1, 2, 3 baby step goals themselves. I might not have succeeded today, but I can live to fight on behalf of my business and my dreams tomorrow. So another piece of advice that I would give you is to make your, approximately 10-minute goal keeping ritual pleasant. So, I want you to make sure you're comfortable. Maybe you do it when you're in a hot bath. That's what I do. Maybe you're cozying up to a cold beverage. Play some music in the background that's going to inspire you, psych you up, or keep you in like a grounded and centered place. Especially if you're nervous about being honest and seeing where you've fallen out of integrity versus, these goals, I still have to do so much work to achieve them. You definitely want something that is like music in the background that's, supportive to you. Do whatever it takes, literally and figuratively, to be grounded and centered and relaxed. Because the more fun that you have and the more comfortable you are with this 10-minute goal keeping ritual every day, the more likely it is that you're going to keep up with the habit. And when you have to check each day if you're in integrity with yourself, you're your own best accountability partner, right? So you guys are, older, more mature entrepreneurs, more than likely. If you're watching me now, if you're subscribed to my channel, we're not kids. We do know better. When you know better, you can do better from day to day. I like keeping it like a 10-minute, like comfy, cozy ritual because you're more likely to keep it. So let me go through here. All right, let me report. I don't know why. Okay, here we go. So Jane Marsh, I know the time difference. I've got students all over the world, man, and I'm lucky about that. I'm sorry. It's a little late by you, but I'm glad you're here. Unbound by Tiffany is here. What do you guys think about what I said? Lenore says, I am a pen and paper person, a paper list person. Otherwise, it disappears into a digital list, never to be seen again. And Carol agrees, Lenore, me too. Jane Marsh says, write it down. We were taught. Me, I'm old school. Michelle McLaughlin says the same. Yeah, a lot of my students are, super late 30s into early 40s, all the way up to their 70s, right? So, birds of a feather flock together. I personally don't care how you do anything. I just want to make sure whatever it is that you're using to work on your business and your goals and your successes, whatever works for you, just work it. That's all. So I don't want anybody to be caught up with like apps and software if that's not your thing, or that's not your thing for this particular type of task. Um, you know, I don't I'm not much of a journaler anymore. When I was younger, I would journal, but I can be very pad and pen oriented. They're not in my room right now, but I have two planners, one for personal and one for business based stuff. So, I can be very digital. I am, but for stuff that has to do with like goals, goal setting, achievement, short term, long term goals, especially within 2022 is what I want you guys to focus on. I will write stuff down myself. So Heidi says, I went live yesterday on Facebook. I was the hot mess. I wrote the hot mess express, as I often say, but I had an outline of what I wanted to talk about and I got through it. I broke that seal and got to cross it off my list. And Jane Marsh says, good for you. Michelle says, so brave. I haven't done a live video yet. Anne's cheering on Heidi. I love all this leadership and support in this community. You guys are great. And Heidi, I want to recognize you and see you. Like I've said many times, I've been going live for Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill weekly to a lot of times years ago, like 5 days a week for them, in and out. I've been doing that for years. So it's easier for somebody like me to come and just do a live, whether I've got makeup on or not, or I don't even care anymore. Like it's all about just getting it out there. I don't want pretty perfection. A lot of us do use pretty perfection as a way to kind of self-sabotage. We cut our noses off to spite our face, right? But Heidi, it's so important that you go live. Most people fear live speaking more than even being burned in a fire. There are studies out there that were done in the 70s and then redone more recently, and everything's still roughly in the same order. And at the top of the list, most people are afraid of public speaking. They get very uncomfortable, or they're like downright phobic or anything in between about speaking live. But every platform has a very strong preference for you going live. Why? Because humans like that. Okay. Whether we're talking about pandemic or not, a lot of people just don't have the bandwidth to go to in-person meetups to the pandemic, or maybe they can, God help us, with lockdowns and stuff like that, or maybe they feel like they shouldn't, but humans still want to like hang out live with other humans. So live streams tend to do very well on any platform: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. You need 1,000 fans or followers before you can unlock that feature, but like on YouTube, everywhere else, you can go live pretty much at the beginning. There is no follower or subscriber minimum, but for TikTok that I'm aware of at this moment. So you can go live. So the algorithms will reward you if you go live, and the humans are more likely to show up if you go live. Heidi, did you email your list to let them know that you were going to go live? And also, I want you to do that live once a week. People are more likely to show up, whether they show up late or not, or whether they can only come for a few minutes and they leave. But your lives every week will become more and more successful because number one, you're training the humans that you're going to show up at this time. Number two, you're going to email the list. I don't care if you have 10 people on a list. Some of those people might show up to your live, right? You're going to let people know on social, 5 minutes to me going live. And here's a quick sentence or two about why you want to be there, right? Once people get trained up enough of your social following, your email list, more and more of them will be likely to show up more and more often to your live streams. And then the algorithms will reward you for going live to begin with. And if you make it a regular thing, they're more likely to ping your current subscribers, fans, followers, whatever, so that more and more of them come. They're going to prioritize the ones who have already been on your lives, and then they will go in reverse order. Who's not been on your lives ever, but they otherwise engage with your stuff. They'll be prioritized to get pings about live streams and where applicable replays next. So Julie is here. What's going on, Miss Jules? Julie Mackenzie Brooks is in the house. What's going on? Good to see you. And Carol, I'm glad you're working up to it quickly. That's really important. Just Me, Lori J says you give the best advice. I know I need to hear this. You're not the only one. And let's face it, I think it's Evan Carmichael who said, and I heard him say it when I went to Vid Summit Live in 2018. He said, you get better at doing the thing by doing the thing. And I've since said that to my students a lot on heavy rotation in my one-on group student coaching situations. I'll say that. And a lot of people are like, you're right. The first time I'm riding the Hot Mess Express, everything's new. Everything's challenging to me. I don't feel comfortable. And almost no one showed up. Well, did you email your list? Almost always they say no. Did you give everybody a warning earlier in the day that you were going live and then like a 5-minute warning? No. Well, of course, nobody showed up. Plus, it was your first time. Also, quick little tip on any platform. I do believe this is going to be applicable for any platform, including YouTube. When you go live, you need to go live for a good 15 minutes. You can't just go on live, make a couple of quick announcements and bye and peace on out. Because, unless you have a very well trained up audience who knows to be there and most of them are prompt, you didn't give the algorithm enough time to ping people and you didn't give the humans enough time to show up either. So yeah, show up on time, but fully expect that between the humans and the algorithms, you need to give it a little bit of time. So just in case, if you're like, well, what do I say after 15 minutes? Like say, okay, Stacey, I can kind of go on a cadence. I can greet people when they come. If I'm on Facebook, if I'm on Instagram, I'm going to make sure that like I wave at everybody and all that stuff. I'm going to interact back with them. The humans like it. The algorithms see more engagement coming from you in this case. So look at me greeting everybody. That's another data point for the YouTube algorithm to surface to go, hey, there's some interaction back and forth and people are hitting that like button. More of you, please hit that like button. It helps while I'm live. It pushes this live out more while I'm live. And it will also do better matchmaking on the replay. It'll be more likely the YouTube algorithms. Every platform has multiple algorithms, not just one algorithm that runs. And so the algorithms are more likely to push this out to more people on the replay. But it's hard to go live. It sucks to go live, especially if you're not. Like I was a civil litigator coming into this. So in 2016, when I started to go live on the regular on Facebook for Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill, I was like, whatever. And I just started going live. And of course, the only thing that kind of got to me at that point was just the tech. But on most platforms, the tech is very, very limited. It's easy. Once you do it once or twice, you're going to be like, okay, I don't even know why I stress that out. That's going to be the same on Facebook as the same as it is on Instagram, the same as it is on YouTube or anywhere else. And getting used to engaging with people as they show up or not long afterwards, that'll come after you're done going live once a week. By about a month from now, Heidi, you're the friggin' digital town mayor, okay? So like everybody follow Heidi's, good example. this is one of your business goals for the year, is that you need to go live on your Facebook page, in your Facebook group, on Instagram. Make sure that you're going live to your community at least once a week. That's a minimum, okay? Because like there's no TV show or streamable show that is kind of herky-jerky with when they're going to show up. That doesn't work. Okay, so please, please, please make sure that it's a weekly thing minimum. I'm not going to lie, Joe's grew very, very healthy because I went Monday through Friday at around noon. Sometimes I'd log in a little bit late. I hate to say it because I have a bad connection where I live, but the people up around Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill, that happens to them too, so they understand it. So it didn't kill me there. Don't be lackadaisical about when you show up otherwise, folks. But seriously, you will have a community of people that want to be seen, because consciously or subconsciously, it makes them feel nice and happy when you wave to them on an Instagram live, or you acknowledge them and that you're happy that they're there. Now they're really happy that they're there. You're answering questions, you're talking shop with them. It doesn't always have to be a products spotlight or, a new collection announcement, a retirement or a sales announcement live. You could do product demos live. You could just be talking shop live. One of my jewelry-based students, she had no problem going live for a month straight. She had a ton of content because 1 week it was like, what kind of metals look good against your skin? And let's talk about color planning and stuff like that based upon your skin tones and your eye color and your hair color. And then the next week it was like, what stones look good against eye color and hair color and stuff like that. And then the next week it was like, what kind of trends are hot right now. And then the next week it was like how you could combine, use, or reuse things to get different looks. And then the next week it was like the proper care and storage about jewelry. I think she went on for like 2 months before she even thought of running out of content. And she went once a week. And of course, every week she's emailing her list. She's letting people know on social. She's letting replays go. She's optimizing the replays to be found in search. What do you think happened? By the end of the 6 weeks or so, she was like, oh, I got to come up with more material because I've already built this thing up, right? You want to be like her. Michelle says, Jules, do you hand out ribbons? I have some clients. Okay, cool. Jane says, I use a calendar. That's important. Marquina says, I need to label my notebooks so I can find them to keep my notes together to go back over them. What's a good way to do this if you keep stacked notebooks without going through the entire stack? Stacked notebooks. What does that mean? I got to look that up, Marquina. Not sure. Carol says, public speaking going live on Facebook. That's my greatest fears. I'm going to break through it. I admitted it on my page last night. That's very vulnerable of you. And honestly, Carol, I think most people, because of the studies that I said, the polls that were done back in the 70s through more recent years, the number one fear still remained public speaking. And then the second fear still remained dying painfully in a fire. Ridiculous, right? But that means that more people than not will understand it if you say in a post, oh my goodness, I'm so nervous, but I love you guys so much and I enjoy talking shop with you so much. I'm going to dare myself to come out public and speak to you. This is a safe space, right, guys? And most people are going to be very supportive, and you might even have a couple more people show up to your live just to support you. She retired, but Chrissy Steer Kim from Milkman's Garage was the name of her company. And she created different planner covers for planners. So if you wanted a cloth, fashionable planner cover, you could have it. You wanted to switch one out for every season as you carried your planner with you and worked in and out of it every day, you could have it. She did so well, but then I won't get into it. She retired, right? But she was really scared about going live in her group in the beginning. Excuse me, you guys, I'm running dry. But well, what do you know? After a couple sessions, she felt a lot more comfortable. The tech park was long way out of the way. Her people got really used to showing up. And well, what do you know? She had a thriving community of people who like talking about the planners and like talking about the planner covers. And, she just loved talking shop with them about planning and about executing on goals and stuff like that. She had a really great community. I was in there. I bought a couple of her planners or planner covers. So it gets better over time. It's never going to get better over time if you don't do the thing. And how do you expect that you're going to get better at doing the thing if you don't do the thing? Or you do the thing once and then you're all spooked out, then you don't do it again for a month. Come on, folks. And I'm going to tell you a real story that just happened yesterday. May God strike me dead. I had to pick up my son from school because he had a runny nose, so they kicked him out and he can't come back until he has a clean test. Ridiculous. So, and I can't even get a test for him until like next week. So he's remote learning until he can get all that sorted. It's not even super sick. It's so, it's not dumb. I don't want to get into like vaccines and anything like that or COVID. Blah, we talk about it way too much. But I went to go pick him up from school. I had a mask on. I went to go show my ID and pull down the mask so that they knew who they were looking at. And the guard at the door was like, "Oh my God, you don't have to do that anymore. We just realized who you are. You're Stacey Storino from Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill. I watch your videos every single week. I watch your live streams every single week. Your idea is no good here." Like, seriously. And pre-COVID, we had one of the biggest video podcasts in the Hudson Valley for a Hudson Valley-based business. I used to have like 2,000-3,000 people show up for my live streams. It took a while to get the algorithm to prioritize those live streams and to get the people trained up to go to those live streams. During COVID, my husband asked me to tamp down on some of that because some people were hysterical that we were even open. I don't want to get into that. And so very, very small minority, thank goodness. 2020, we had our best year ever. And 2021, we just beat that. So, but we now, and then I had a hell of a time with my health last year. So now I have to slowly rebuild my live streams on Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill's Facebook page, and I share it into the Facebook group. On the page alone, I can get 700-800 views. And I'm just like, yeah, whatever. I remember when it was thousands, but if I slowly but surely build that thing up, I'm not going to pay to boost it. I don't have to do it. Facebook, okay, you're not going to get the instant gratification that you might get, say, on TikTok, but I'm going to tell you what, you can rebuild it. Because when I first started doing live streams kind of on and off last year, I'd be lucky if I had a couple hundred views. So I say that to kind of encourage you guys to remember you're building up as you go, right? You're building up as you go. So, you know, and if you get off in the frequency, you don't keep up persistently and consistently with at least a once a week frequency, and you're not telling your list and you're not talking about it on social, you are not likely going to be able to build much of anything. So we're all adults here. We need to be more adult about live streams, and most people aren't going to try to be spammers and scammers and nasty. You know, I didn't make a big deal out of it, but somebody came here and put up a spam link and didn't even say anything. It was just like, whatever. And I'm sure it led to porn, and I just reported them and removed them. But, you know, if that's like the worst thing that happens to you, who cares, right? You'll be fine. Bridget says, we just nailed down the list of themes for weekly live sales. Now that's planning. Now to design the big 10 collections and the mini 5 collections for each theme. That is great. Heidi says, I was living in that fear space, so I didn't announce it. I'm planning to go live twice a week so that I have some things set up for going live tomorrow with email and social media. Good girl. You will build slowly but surely over time. I've had to rebuild for Joe slowly but surely over time. So I'm not like 100, 200 views on my live streams and replays anymore on Facebook. I'm back up to like 700-800. I'll get to 1,000 or more by spring. I'm not worried. But if I don't follow through with stuff, then it's going to be hard for that to happen. And the same for any of you. So Bridget says, if you use spiral notebooks, you can use a little key labels things and hook them on the top. I watched a YouTube video yesterday about planning for your first 10 minutes for your replay audience and then start your stuff. Yup. Excuse me. Carol says, is live better than stories or reels? Or does it go hand in hand and reach different audiences? It's the latter. I would recommend both. So live streams, because it's going to appeal to different audiences. And yes, you will have a lattice work or crossover or like concentric overlapping circles of people who will tend to watch both. A live stream should be done a minimum of once a week on your on a given platform. So the same thing I would recommend for Instagram. Reels, you need to do like a reel a day. You really do. Increasingly, you're going to get more content creators in relation to content consumers. When Reels first rolled out in the summer of 2020 in the US and a lot of other places in the world, when I encouraged my students to go take advantage of that, I had people go to six figures or at least way into the multiple five figures, but they were running reels daily to near daily. Okay. And they were just getting such an unfair advantage because there were so few content creators in comparison to the content consumers. It's a year and a half later and you still can get really good on traction on reels. Most folks do. Are you going to be an overnight success? Probably not, but that's okay. I would still recommend doing a reel every single day. If you skip once in a while because life happens, again, we're adults, don't beat yourself up. And I want to be realistic about the advice that I give the more mature entrepreneur who has a personal life. You might have house, spouse, kid, worship, pets, plants to deal with, plus you have your business, and you might be a solopreneur wearing all the hats or a very small but mighty team. I want to be realistic, but I would do a reel every day as a goal, and I would have a live once a week as a goal. And when I do my lives, I would totally recommend that people go check out your reels if they're not already. So at least drive traffic to the reels. You could even do a short reel just announcing that later on in the day you're going to go live. One hand can kind of wash another. You don't have to dance and sing or have high production values for a reel to really do business for you. You guys aren't trying to be dancers or singers or anything like that. You are just trying to be found in search through keywords in the caption. Reels, you have 2,200 characters that you can put in, just like a feed post and just like Instagram TV, formerly known as IGTV. They're doing that to make themselves competitive against TikTok. TikTok, you have fewer characters than you have in a tweet. I think in a tweet you get 280 characters. TikTok's shorter than that, and that has to include the hashtags that you put in. I love a good shout out. You go, girl. Thanks, Bridget. Right. So much to do. Terrifying, but exciting but terrifying. Why is it terrifying? Because honestly, I would think of it this way. Like, whenever I go live or whenever I create content for Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill, I'm thinking, man, I love my people. I love what we do for Joe's. We all do as a team. We have a very happy, upbeat, positive corporate culture for our business. We love what we do. We love who we do it for. So honestly, what's to be afraid of when I'm talking over the top food for over the top memories with the ones you love for Joe's? When we're putting out, pictures and graphics and memes and jokes, when we're going live and posting replays, all those things, like it's just another opportunity to connect with our people and talk shop. There's no reason to be afraid. You're not dumb for being afraid. I don't want anybody to feel dumb for feeling afraid. This is a new thing you're trying on, whether you're new to business at all or you're pivoting. And so there's a lot of newness still there, but you have some experience in your business. But if you're new or relatively new to content marketing, this isn't like friggin' middle school where someone's going to make fun of you because they think your nose is too fat. You know what I mean? No one's going to make fun of you, for talking shop with them about their main pain point or their main passion point. Mike Reinhardt could do all sorts of manly cool things as a blacksmith. The ladies be swooning, and the men be going, that's cool. He's playing with fire and metal. That's cool. Mike could be talking to his people all day about the who, what, when, where, why, and how of him starting his smithy, him starting his farm, and who he serves, and all the fun stuff that he gets to do, and all the fun stuff that they get to talk about, smithy wise or farm fresh food, organic food. Like, man, you should be able to talk shop with your digital brand based community every day of the week and twice on Sundays. And it's like you bounce out of bed and go, I'm going to talk to my business besties today. Cool. So, like, why aren't you thinking that way? Just curious. Marquita says, Stacey, stack notebooks are just notebooks, paper notebooks, set on top of each other in a stack. Oh, it's that literal? Okay, Marquita, here you go. Duh. I had no idea. I thought it was like, it's a brand or something like Stack Notebooks, I was like, oops. Sorry. I didn't think you were that literal. That's the best. So cool. You are welcome. Thank you. So, I'm not like Tiffany says, I don't have that confidence yet in knowing all the time and energy is actually going to reach the right people. Fear of exhaustion for nothing and perfectionist issues. So, your pretty perfectionism is making it okay that you're not going to get all the success that you want. Like, and I'm not just saying you, Tiffany. I'm talking about the ubiquitous you, like everybody, like all of us, right? Like, I'm so afraid if I put myself out there, then nothing's going to happen. Well, when you don't put yourself out there, you get a guaranteed outcome of nothing's going to happen. And so, of course, your business made no money. And of course, you just, you're a tangible products based business. I'm a digital products based business. If I sell none, it doesn't take up any space in my house. You know what I mean? My designer just gets pissed because she created all those graphics for the popularity plan, for example. Poor Galilee. But seriously, but when you're creating physical stuff and it just sits there and collects dust in your house, your husband, wife, significant other, roommate is pissed. So seriously, I don't care how much or how little you create for sale. It's got to get out there in the world to make people's lives better. And you will never punch a hole into the world of the people that need you if you're not creating content and getting it out there. I am not saying that you should wear all the hats forever. I am not saying that you should do everything because no one's ever going to do it as good as you. Jesus, we did not get to 1.3 million plus this past year because I did everything, or my husband and I did everything. We pay our staff extra for doing the work on TikTok. We've had to reinvest back into our business. And our TikTok account is bigger than almost any professional sports team in the world. I mean, the Yankees have us beat. I think the Chicago Bulls have us beat. We're bigger than friggin' Ben and Jerry's times like 10. It's embarrassing. And yes, it does drive us business. And yes, our global audience said create gear so that we can buy it from you. And that led to the birth of Comfort Food Clothes, our sister company. Because of supply chain issues, I kind of backed off on it. But now I got to amp it up and ramp it up again, right? Because all that extra buyer's bloat from the end of the year holidays is over, right? And so hopefully we can get into a regular cadence. Like everybody who ordered got their orders filled. But yeah, you want to be so big that people are like, take my money another way and another way and another way and another way. The popularity plan is a perfect example of that. My students were begging me for some sort of digital download pack that would help them save at least some time from month to month. Like, I get what you're teaching me, but I can't do it all alone. So I know I have to invest a little more, but what can you do for me for a reasonable price? I just helped you do your once a week, for the January popularity plan. I helped you do your once a week email to your list. And I also helped you with, half, if not all, of your straight up relationship marketing based content that still serves with a call to action and an acknowledgement or a re-acknowledgement that you are an entrepreneur and your business does X for Y type of person so they get Z type of result. Because someone finding you for the first time will go, oh, that's a business for me. Or, oh, I know, a friend, a relative, an acquaintance, a neighbor, a kid's parent, spousal connection, coworkers past and or present, where this would be up their alley. You don't want to just put up a post for coffee day and optimize it well in terms of keywords and hashtags where applicable so that people find you on coffee day 2022 and they go, oh, I love coffee too. Right on, sister. And they leave. It's a big waste of your time. So the captions for the popularity plan follow a certain cadence for a reason, because it has to get a call to action out there to someone. There should be no random acts of content. Someone should know what to do when they're done consuming your content. Sometimes it's click the link in bio for a coupon. Sometimes it's click here to go to this sales page. Sometimes it's click here to join our brand-based community. We'll talk shop all day long. TikTok, it don't stop. You want to talk about jewelry all day long? We're jewelry freaks in here, right? You want to talk about, fresh or farm-based organic produce. We're talking about it in Mike Reinhardt's Fresh Produce group. I'm making it up. I don't know. I could do this all day, folks. You got to feel confident, but you're going to get a guaranteed outcome of nothing if you do nothing, or if you do little crumbs of stuff, but you're not persistent and consistent about it. You'll go, hey, Stacey, I'm trying. But it's like you're not giving the people enough of a chance to come together and create a community, and then you're not staying top of mind with them, and or the algorithm's going, I don't know what to do with this person. They're here. They're not here. Like, you got to do it. Like, if success was easy, everyone could do it, right? Jules says, I love listening to you in the mornings. You inspire me to get moving and get things done. Thank you, Miss Jules. Jane says, the listening and the feedback is super great. Thank you, guys. Tiffany says, yes, and I love the feeling of being seen and heard. Love these lives with Stacey. Mike Reinhardt says, yes, love this. Mike, just out of curiosity, do you have a Facebook page or group for your business? So everyone should have put it down there. I want to take a look at what you got going on. And now if you're listen, I'm starting from scratch, I got nothing. That's okay. We all start from zero. It's fine. It's fine. I don't want to put Mike on the spot, and I do have to wrap this up. So anybody on the replay, please put hashtag replay. If you've been here and you haven't done it, please give this video a big thumbs up. Hashtag live. If you're going to watch both live and replay, put hashtag live, hashtag replay. I've read off pretty much all the comments. So if they disappear after we go live and it's just replay comments, y'all know what was said. Yes, on the replay, if you have comments or questions, I want you to be seen and heard too. Okay. Carol says, so many memories, embroidery. Ha. Yeah. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. I do recommend for Facebook that you have a Facebook page that's the name of your business. It's kind of like having a website. If someone's Facebook friendly and they don't think it's old book, they're going to see if your business has at least a page on Facebook. And if you're posting there daily, or at least close to daily, nobody's perfect, but basically it's daily, they're more likely to like or follow that page. Once they know your business, they're going to expect to see a Facebook page. Now, if your ideal customer thinks it's old book, then I wouldn't sweat it. But for a lot of us, our ideal customer is on Facebook. It might not be the most popular platform for them. It might be the second most, or vice versa. But you shouldn't just have a Facebook page. You should have a Facebook group. Now, Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill, in full disclosure, we've been around. The business has been around since 1960. We bought it in 2002. We almost sold it in 2015 because it was profitable, but barely. And the people who sold it to us, their book showed us the same thing. We were idiots and thought we could do it better. Yeah, it wasn't until 2015, 16, 17 that we really started cooking with gas, right? Because they finally, my husband and my father-in-law own it. They finally let me at what they were doing, and we got very strategic. And they grew, and within about two-ish years, they hit 7 figures, and we haven't looked back. And by the way, the size of their employees has quadrupled since they bought the business in 2002, because they have the income to reinvest back into their business to scale and grow. More windows, more cooks, more hot food offerings. We don't get to keep all that money, but are we living a little bit better now? Yeah, sure we are. But they almost sold it in 2015, okay? So, but when you look at Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill on Facebook, yes, we do have the Facebook page with the business name. We also have a Facebook group with our business name, but people recognize that. With most of you, your business name does not have the brand recognition to the point where it's going to have its own aficionados. So for you guys, what I want you to do, and then I'm going to have to wrap this up because I've gone way over. I don't mind over delivering, but I'll be back tomorrow, and so will you. Tomorrow will be at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on January 6th. And there'll be a new teachable moment topic too. But the Facebook group should be something that has to do with your ideal customer's main pain point or main passion point. So when they're searching up content on YouTube, they will see posts with the keywords they're searching on. They will see pages as a separate category in their search results, and they'll see groups. So you want to give your group a name if your business doesn't have name recognition already. So some of my six-figure students, when they come to me, I'm like, fine, your Facebook group name can be your business. You're making $100,000 a year, plus or minus. Of course, you have a ton of customers and a ton of goodwill. But for everybody else, your Facebook group name should be something that would come up in someone's search having to do with that intersecting interest that would connect them to a business like yours on Facebook. All right, so really quickly, let me read everything else. Yeah, you got to keep at it. You can't let go. Okay. Yep. Creative minds can have that problem of persistently and consistently putting out content, but you have to ask yourself, how badly do you want the goals that you've set yourself for 2022? So that's kind of like the stick, you're getting leverage on yourself. But the carrot should always be, I can't wait until my products, my services, my offerings are out there in the world to help my clientele, because it's going to make their lives so much better for those offerings having been in it. Okay. So please, 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 I want to make sure that you guys are thinking more about the people that you want to help, because that should be the carrot. I love creating my jewelry because it's going to make my customers so happy. I love creating fresh produce because it's going to feed people's bodies and they're going to love it. And they're going to see my digital presence out there, know I'm a thought leader in their space, and they're going to want to get all their produce from me. I want to get, I'm a coach and a course creator. I can't tell you how many of my students, if they buy one of my offerings, they tend to buy them all or a lot of them, because I help them and they increase their businesses and they can keep reinvesting back into their business to scale and grow. Again, the popularity plan never would have happened if my students were like, more please, because I know it's going to help me. Don't you want to be in the position where you're helping people and they love you so much they keep coming back and then they bring their friends? Of course you do. So drop the creative mind stuff. Okay, this isn't about whether you're creative or you're analytical. You're going to do it to it, no matter how ugly and hot mess express it's going to be when you start doing the thing, because you're never going to get better at doing the thing if you don't do the thing. Get it? So hold on. Marquita says, I also have a VIP page, but I'm wondering if I should just set it up for people to freely join, or should it be set up for people to have to be approved? That's a really good question, Marquita, and I want to answer that. Yes, you should have it so that they're approved. And yes, you should set it up so that pages don't join, just people do. And I'm going to tell you why, because this happens to Joe's, I'm not going to say once a month, but it happens several times over the course of the year before we learned our lesson. Everybody and their mother wants to piggyback off somebody else's success. I said earlier, for the benefit of the people who might have just come on a little while ago, somebody just shot in and they spammed their probably porno link in my live stream. And I was just like, okay, hold on just a second. I didn't make a big deal about it. I didn't get mad about it, but I just reported them and removed it. Everyone and their mother is going to try and piggyback off your success, or they're going to try and get in your group and sell to your people. So don't make it easy for them, okay? I actually have a lot of spam filters set up on YouTube, so people can't come in and be cussy or rude or say threatening things to women or racist things or beat up on someone because of race, color, creed, religion, blah, blah, blah. Or you would see a lot more comments in here. So I would utilize spam filters on any platform that you're going to be on. It'll make your life a lot easier, but you want to make sure that you can approve everyone that gets into your group, because you want to, and don't let pages join your group, because every time Joe's let pages join our group, you know what they did. They try to sell to our people automatically. Come to our restaurant instead. Oh, more than once this has happened. And I'm like, get out of here. And you go and you look at their social and it's next to nothing. And Joe's currently has over 3,200 people in our Facebook group alone. and about 12,000 likes or followers on our page. As soon as you start to build up a little something, something, someone's going to want to swoop in there and be all up on your stuff and ride your coattails. No pages in your group. I don't care that it's a VIP group. Not everybody is as nice as you and I are, Marquina. So no pages and groups. People have to join as individual profiles, and that's the end of that. And yes, you should approve them, because what I'll do is I'll go look up, because I do a lot of the admin for the group. We have other people who volunteer too, and they know the same thing, because they've seen the train wreck when we're not careful. Even once you take the pages away and it's just individual profiles, that solves one problem. But you will get spam accounts that people set up as business, spam accounts that they will set up as personal. You go to their timeline, there's nothing on it. There's almost nothing on it. It's the same picture over and over again. Like, it's very bot-like behavior, and it's a naked or almost naked timeline. I don't let those people in, because the one or two times that we were like, let's experiment, you know what happened? It was spam. Okay. And Tiffany says, that's my biggest question, Stacey. Should I focus on finishing the collection and launch, or get in marketing first too without product photos? And second question, I know focus on 2 platforms, but should I focus on Instagram, Facebook page, and email list building pre-launch, or start the Facebook group already? I've had a friend steal one of my products, and she copied and sold it. Carol, since, I don't want to name names, but over the last several years, I've had 3 different students take what they've learned from me, and suddenly they're selling the knowledge they got from me to other people. It happens. If you're any good, that can happen. I know I was hysterical, and my feelings were hurt because they didn't even come. Well, actually, one person didn't steal anything from me. She said, but I've had 3 people, one several years ago, 2 people in the last year, who just suddenly, oh, we're social media coaches now, and we're going to teach things. And then I have people coming to me saying they're teaching exactly what you taught. And, I'm like, oh, and my feelings were very, very hurt in the beginning. And I went to a mentor of mine, and she said, Stace, it's happened to me too. And people have full blown stolen my courses and everything too. And I've had to do takedown notices. I've had to hire lawyers. Sometimes they're stealing just enough of my stuff that it's not easy to sue. And you get mad and you say, it hurts my feelings. But on the flip side, if you were no good, no one would do it. So you have to accept a certain amount of that stuff happening in the world. You do. The higher you rise, the more people see you, and the higher you rise, the more people are going to try to ride on your coattails one way or another. I didn't go take their product-based stuff and learn how to do their stuff, and then suddenly go in front of their groups and go buy my stuff, or behind the scenes and say, buy my products. Like, that's how the shoe goes on the other foot. And then maybe people like them see it's not cool. But I did have one of my students come to me and say, I don't want to be a competitor of yours, but I do want to be a coach. I want to teach like the tech side of things more. That's Melissa Pickle. I love her to pieces. She came to me, and we're not direct competitors, right? So if you're a pickle peep, love her to death. She deserves it. She definitely does. But, it's happened, and I've had my feelings hurt. You're a human being. Your feelings get hurt. But, you got to take it as a compliment, I suppose. Oh, Carol says, it took me a long time to get over it. To make it worse, I work with her every day at my job still. Oh, my gosh. So you want to be like Ivana Trump and say living well is my best revenge. Because I will tell you this, I will outwork anybody. I will outproduce anybody. And honestly, someone can steal things once in a while. If they start stealing too wholesale, they start stealing too many collections, they can get punished, right? It's easier to go after them. Or if somebody were to lift my whole course, it would be very easy to go after them. That's an obvious, infringement. If someone's taking general stuff that you teach, and maybe a spreadsheet sort of concept or whatever, and then they go off with it, if it's not copyrightable, you know what they're doing. And especially if they don't say anything and people have to run back and tell you, it's like, ooh, I know what they're doing. But you know what? You have to release it and just say living well is my best revenge. 2022, I'm going to build a business so big, you say, Carol, that coworker is going to choke in the shadows of what I've built. Just choke out and die screaming in it. Like, take the coal, take anger and make it the coal that fuels the fire of your success. That's what you do. Jacqueline, she says, honestly, Stacey, all the ambassador DMs I get, I started spamming them back with nasty swear words. I don't even care anymore. Well, you're a huge success too in your own right with the Wicked Griffin, Jacqueline, and you've been for years. The higher you rise, sure, the more sales you'll get, the more you can build your email list, the more you can build your brand-based community, but you're going to get betrayers, backstabbers, you're going to get spam, you're going to get bots. You know, if you're really good at optimizing stuff, you'll get less bots. If you're really good at using spam filters, you will get less bots. But I get one almost every time I go live. You know, my account and my following and the activity on YouTube alone, it must be just enough that you'll get them. I will tell you really quickly, like before my YouTube channel hit 1,000 subs, I never had any spam. I never had anybody creepy. I remember hitting 1,000 subs. The next day, my community tab capabilities unlocked. I got a message. I was like, yay. 2 days later, boom, bots, everything. I was like, whoa, where did this come out of the? And so I had to set up some very aggressive spam filters, or, you know, because you want to know why you care. You shouldn't care personally, Jacqueline. And the bigger we are, the thicker our skin needs to be. You, I, anybody else watching this live or on the replay who's like a 6-figure success plus or minus or bigger. You have a really big business, a successful business, you're advanced. But you don't want your community, your brand-based community, to get polluted. So that's like the main thing. You don't want to pollute your brand-based community. Because I noticed if I let people like leave nasty things towards me, I would get white knights and people running to my defense and then back and forth. And it was like, nope, I can't have that, because it becomes toxic and it's hard for everyone else to enjoy coming around, right? Or they're using nasty language towards not me, but maybe in general, but then it makes people feel very uncomfortable to see the hard C word being used, you know, or they're saying F this, F that. And people are like, whoa, that's too much. So you got to protect the integrity, the well water. You want to make sure the well water of your brand-based community is clean. That's what I would say. Marquina says, my mom is a retired fashion designer. She was very excited about a theft that happened where her things got stolen. She felt validated that she had arrived. Oh, well, nobody wants to steal the crap, that's for sure. Really quickly, all right, so where do you start when you get started? I want to address Tiffany's question, then I have to go. So, should I focus on finishing the collection to launch or try to get in marketing first without product photos? And I know I have to focus on 2 platforms because she's a beginner. I wouldn't do more than 2. But should I focus on Instagram, Facebook page, and email lists, building pre-launch? I would always say you need to set up your superstructure. So yeah, I would get an email list set up. I would, email marketing is separate from social media marketing. They both should be or content marketing. Otherwise, they should be done parallel and simultaneously. So set up the superstructure, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, not to be lazy and throw the ball back in your court. You have to know who your ideal customer is. You have to not just do market research about jewelry or the type of jewelry you're doing. You have to understand the person that you're selling to. Going back a couple of days, this is the difference between demographics and psychographics. So if you missed that teaching, go back and listen to it, because you have to put the flesh on the bones of the person. You have to know who you're talking about. When you understand who your business bestie is, you'll either know at that point what 2 platforms you should start with content marketing wise. And then email, yeah. So it's technically 3 things. But you know, whether it's Facebook and Instagram or what order, or whether TikTok's in there, you got to know your person best. I can't do everybody, and I'm not saying you're asking me to do this, Tiffany, or anyone else, but I can't do your market research for you. And I can't pick your ideal customer for you. And I can't put the flesh on the bones for them, even if you give me a head start with the skeletal demographic information. Demographics are just a start. Because your content marketing is going to feel about as two-dimensional as an empty skeleton with no flesh and bones and no life and spirit in it. Your psychographics give that person a spirit where you could sit there through your content with what you write and what you record and what you say on lives and everything else. They will not just slow their scroll, they'll stop it because they're like, oh, they're either like me or they understand a person like me. And I can talk shop with this person all day. They get me. It's kismet. Just a parade of products that are up for sale. I wouldn't do the products first because, I'm not saying you won't get any sales, that someone won't scroll by, or, you otherwise optimize it based on just the product and they go, ooh, pretty, and they won't buy. You might get some sales. But if you don't, I could understand why, because your product's just a face in the crowd. Or someone scrolled by, went pretty, and didn't stop their scroll because the first line in the caption that went with it didn't grab them about something about them, didn't grab them about that pain point that they care about in words that they would want used, or slang or jargon that they would use, thinking about this, talking about this. So don't just pump out product and just expect it to sell, because that's what everyone does. And then they get pissed when, you're not first to the market on anything. That was 10 to 20 years ago in an online scenario. So you've got to have that extra. You've got to have that person that you're selling this to. The Stacey sales success formula from day one. Who are you selling to? So why are you doing products yet? Why? You've got to set up the superstructure and go where their attention is. And you're a beginner, so you can only put content on 2 places right now. You're a solopreneur, plus you have a busy personal life too, Tiffany, with a baby and everything. So, you will know, or you should know, and you should do research enough to know, whom are you serving? What is their main pain point? Then you create the products and or services that will get them out of pain and into pleasure. So you're already talking back ass words, not to be mean to you. I'm glad you're saying it, because there's people on this live or replay that need to hear it. Stop with the products first. Stop with the offerings first. I mean, if you're Mike Reinhard, you've already got your smithy and your farm up. You keep doing it, Mike. You keep that ball rolling to the extent it's already rolling. But if you're thinking about your content marketing, who are you writing to? Who are you creating this stuff to? If you were to take that person out to a bar, or you were to go out and get a non-alcoholic beverage, like you're going to Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill and you're getting a milkshake, how are you talking to them? What are you talking to them about? What's that pain point? And can you talk shop about that pain point or that passion point all day? Because until you do that, how are you going to create the content and the captions that are going to grab them? How do you know that you're going to get their attention? With just your pretty stuff? I mean, again, that could work for some sales, but not all the sales that you deserve. And any of my, 5 to 6 figure students would tell you that it sounds counterintuitive, but products first is back ass words. It is. Pick the person. Why would they want this? What's their pain point? And then you create the products and services to get them out of pain and into pleasure. If you're just selling jewelry, I don't care how goddamn pretty it is. You're going to drown in a sea of goddamn pretty jewelry. You've got to find a way that the keywords that you use and where applicable, the hashtags that you use are narrow enough, and the rest of the caption in which the keywords are buried grabs your person. Okay. If I tried to sell to everyone that ate hamburgers and hot dogs and milkshakes and ice cream, Tiffany and everybody else, that's why we were barely profitable. We were trying to be just like everybody else, but our stuff is somehow better. But we're number one. Everybody says that. When we started creating content for the extreme foodie family, sales skyrocketed, and we charge the most of practically anybody in the Hudson Valley, and they spend that money all day. And I don't care if, inflation, stagflation, nothing. I don't care. During COVID, when people were scared, they bought. How many people were laid off? They bought. You're not going to do it. I would never have saved Joe's if we just went with the products first. We had to know who we were selling to be able to work. Oh, Bridget, good for you. She said we got a spammer on our last live. I told Darren that meant the algorithm was pushing us out. You're right. You're right. And you're getting just enough traction that spammers are like, oh, I got to go there. Or the bots or the algorithms for the software for the spammers like, ooh, promising. That's good. That's good news. No, you're not waiting on a Facebook group. You're totally, I gotta go, but you are totally self-sabotaging, Tiffany. You're totally, whether you realize it or not, consciously and or subconsciously, you are desperately trying to find it out. I'll get a Facebook group and I'll grow it big. No, set the Facebook group, you're growing it and you're launching. Okay. And if you need to be on Instagram, which you probably do, but your research will show you, then you're going to set the Instagram up and you're going to start talking shop with someone about jewelry, as fashion, as whatever. And then you're going to announce your collection and then you're going to put the stuff out there, and some relationship marketing over the course of a month and some sales based marketing over the course of a month, right? But I'm sorry, you can't build it all perfect and then launch. You're probably going to run out of financial runway or time if you do that. So it's kind of like both. But you have to build up that brand-based community where people feel safe to talk shop and buy from you when they want to and when they can. I think I know my ideal customer. I just get stuck in analysis paralysis. Yes, you do. I've been researching this forever. Stop, Tiffany. I was mostly asking about the Facebook group being of use before I do my launch. Yeah, start the Facebook group, roll it, and launch. There you go. Email your list. Tell your friends. Any friends that you think are your ideal customer or know people who's your ideal customer. Get the group warm backed up while you're launching. Do it both, okay? But don't wait till forever. Don't wait till your group hits 10 people or 100 people and then you can launch. Like, you're building up your group and you're warming up that oven, and there you go. You're welcome. Yes, that's what I was thinking about. I was trying to figure out how to prioritize. I understand that. Michelle says, I connected my Instagram with Facebook business so it automatically posts on both. Yep, that is a creator studio. All right, guys, I've got to go. I am running out of voice. I love you guys, and I love what I do, and I love who I do it for. I wish I could go longer today, but show up tomorrow at 10 a.m. and do me a favor. Give this video a big thumbs up if you haven't already. Okay? And definitely share this out. I'm giving a ton of value. It's going to happen every day in January. It's like you're putting a tip in the tip jar when you are pushing this out to other people. Okay. But don't just sit there and feel all great about what I taught you. Follow through on it. I want to know, when you hold your 10-minute goal keeping session tonight, I'm going to ask y'all. I'm going to ask y'all tomorrow, when you do your goal keeping session tonight for about 10 minutes, what baby step goals did you get done? What short-term goals have you done or you're well on your way to? Did you even set up goals? Like, I want to know. I want you to tell me tomorrow, because y'all can feel good, but you got to go do good, okay? Knowledge is potential power. It just gives you the power to act more efficiently. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.